Hello, good morning. Can everyone hear me? Okay, so we're going to start in a few minutes. Sorry for the delay because there were some technical problems on our end. So just give me another 1 to 2 minutes to complete with the setup, and then we will start directly. Thank you. Okay, hi, good morning everyone. I hope you can view the screen. So if you have any problem or any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to type in the chat window so that we can address it after the presentation. So I have also put this presentation or put this conference into listen-only mode so that there is no other noises or audio which will interrupt the other participants. So let's start with the webinar today. My name is Yan Fen. I'm in charge in marketing of the Minitab products in Visit Systems. So the topic or the product we are going to cover today is about Companion by Minitab. So I believe most of you have been aware about the Minitab statistical software. I'm not sure how many have heard about Companion by Minitab or have tried using it before. So this is actually another application or another product offered by Minitab US. So it is more for the Six Sigma or the continuous improvement project management. So it is a separate product or separate application from the Minitab statistical software. So throughout the next 1 hour session, I will share about what are the common features or the useful tools in Companion, which can help you in managing your continuous improvement projects. So a little bit about the history of Companion by Minitab product. So in 2003, the SkyMarks PathMaker was acquired and then modified and released as Minitab Quality Companion 1. So initially, the reason why this product was acquired and released was meant to address the non-statistical needs of the Lean Six Sigma market. So it comes with the basic project organization and problem-solving tools. And then in 2006, Quality Companion 2 was released after it was being completely rewritten by Minitab. And then in 2008, Quality Companion 2 dashboard was added as an additional tool into the existing Quality Companion 2. And in 2009, Minitab then released Quality Companion 3 plus the dashboard as well. So Quality Companion version 3 was it comes with the enhancement to better support the deployments. It also includes the value stream mapping to address the growing lean movement. And then in 2013, Keystone was introduced. Keystone was actually another version of something like a modified Quality Companion 3, which comes with the tools for managing projects and also comes with the scalable web-based dashboard, which is centralized in the cloud project storage. Okay, and then in 2017, Companion by Minitab was released. So what is actually Companion by Minitab? So it is actually a complete platform to manage your continuous improvement program. So it comes with their tools combined for executing projects and with the automated dashboard reporting. So it is a cloud-based project management solution which focuses on continuous improvement methodologies like DMAIC, Kaizen, uh, Just Do It, and so on. So this is basically how the architecture looks like. As you can see in the diagram, the end user will be the one sitting on the desktop. It is called, because there are two sections of the product, which is a desktop app and the web app. Okay, so the desktop app itself will be used by the team members who will be working along on the execution of the project. So the desktop app itself comes with roadmaps, templates, and over 100 industry-proven process improvement tools like value stream mapping, process maps, brainstorming tools like fishbone diagram, forms, and so on. So when you have all of the tools in one application, you get to share the data across in between these forms and tools. So when the end user is updating their project, so the project files will be updated and stored in the cloud system, the cloud storage, okay, in the web app. So this will be the section of the web app where all the projects and data, they are all stored in a secure centralized storage where the team members or the team leaders, the project team can access it from anywhere and anytime. And then this project data and the project information, it will be pulled out into the dynamic graphical summary so that you can summarize your financial summary, status reports, and so on. So this graphical summary is called the dashboard, whereby these dashboard reports can be customized according to your requirement and needs, like what you want to have a look, what you want to summarize, whether it is a financial summaries or it is a numerical count of project data and so on. So you get to have the instant insight at any time and anywhere because it is a web-based. As long as you have internet connection, then you will have access to these summaries. So this is the other way of looking at the architecture of Companion by Minitab. So on the web app itself, as you can see, on the cloud system where the dashboard is residing, the dashboard will show you the aggregated data for key metrics as well as the project details. And then the web app also consists of the project repository to store all your project files. And then there is also a design center whereby you can customize or create any data fields, new templates, reports, and so on. So on the desktop app itself, it only consists of the tools and forms. Okay, so the steps of the step that is going on in between the desktop and web app is like if you can see on the diagram, step 1, the user will log in from his desktop PC and then log into the cloud systems. And then step 2, he will download the project and data templates into his computer. Then when he has done updating all his project file and data, he will save his project back into the cloud. And in step 4, the management or the project leader will pull out the dashboard view or the aggregated data into his computer for the graphical summary of his project status, some financial summaries, and so on. So these are the main components of Companion by Minitab. So on the desktop app itself, there are roadmaps that provide direction for the team members, and there are tools that move the project forward, as well as relevant data that will populate the dashboard, which is documented within the project. So with these 3 key features, you will have efficient execution of the project with painless reporting. And on the web app itself, There is a dashboard, project repository, which provide your project storage, and then the design center, which provides standardization of your data and control of templates. So with the web app, the way you track or report your project will be effortless. So who actually needs the companion by Minitab? Who are the actual users? We have executive champions, managers who are responsible for continuous improvement projects, consultants, coaches, master black belts, and others who need to aggregate and compile their key metrics across multiple projects, or whoever that help their teams through improvement projects. Other than that, engineers, project leaders, team members, or any other practitioners who carry out and report on continuous improvement projects will also benefit from companion. And last but not least, it could be also anyone who is doing continuous improvement, operations excellence, like Lean Six Sigma, continuous quality excellence, and so on. So this will be the target users of companion by Minitab. At the moment, for the previous version of Quality Companion 3, these are our list of users who previously purchased Quality Companion 3 in both Singapore and Malaysia. And then the users of Companion by Minitab, the latest version, these are the list of companies who have been using Companion by Minitab around the world. So there are some of them are from US, and then we have also in Singapore, which is AMD, who is currently using Companion by Minitab. So this is the list of agenda of the topics of what we are going to cover today. So I will not go into detail of every tools or the too much detail because it will take a lot of time. So this is just an overview of those of the common tools and useful features in Companion. Okay, so let's look at the desktop app first. Okay, so basically this is how the Companion desktop app looks like. I will switch to the actual software later. So as you can see on the top left section, this is called Project Manager. And then Project Manager will show you the project today, what is the status or the information of your project up to date. Project Charter also falls under Project Manager section. You can have team members and roles. You can add your team member and add their roles, edit their details in Project Manager. You can add in tasks, financial data, and so on. And then under the roadmap section, there is a list of the phases populated for you. So these roadmaps will appear according to your choice of templates. So if you select DMAIC, the phases of define, measure, analyze, improve, and control will be populated for you with the recommended tools or the forms which are, this is developed according to the Lean Six Sigma experts. So these are something like a guideline for your team members who are not familiar with how to get started with the project and so on. So when you have all of the tools and forms in one place, shared in one project file, you get to share the data in between the forms and tools. Okay, so that is one of the feature and benefit of using Companion by Minitab. So you will hear a lot of times I will mention about data sharing and all in one. These are the basic and the most prominent features of Companion by Minitab. So there are more than 100 customizable process improvement tools contained in desktop app. As you can see, there is a value stream map, fishbone diagram, Monte Carlo simulation, C&E matrix, FMEA, project prioritization matrix, project charter, all of the standard, the common tools in project management are available in Companion already. So all of these tools are pre drafted for you already, so you can make use of it as it is, or you can create one from scratch as well. So let's move on to the actual software. Okay, let me just move this to the other side. So this is how the Companion by Minitab looks like. Let me show you when you start what you would see. When you launch the Companion by Minitab, this is what you will see: new, open, and so on. So there are two options presented to you, whether you would like to start with a workflow project or a non-workflow project. If you choose to start a new workflow project, you will, because workflow requires phase gate reviews. So you need to make sure that all your idea has been approved before you can move forward to start the project. And then there are different phase of project that you can select the review. So for this webinar purpose, I would just choose to start with non-workflow project. Okay, and then if you select non-workflow project, there is a list of project templates available for you. Okay, let me see. So there is an 8D, CDOV, DMAIC, Just Do It, Kaizen, PDCA, and so on. So you can also choose to start from a blank project. Okay, so this is a blank project. What you are getting, or what you will see, is the empty phases under the roadmaps. So you will have to add in the phases one by one according to your requirements. Okay, you can also add in the tools and the diagrams or the charts or the forms on your own one by one. So let's choose DMAIC as an example. I will just show you how DMAIC template looks like. Okay, so if you choose DMAIC, you will see a list of phases already pre-populated for you, along with the tools, forms, and so on. So these are all recommended tools and forms according to the guideline by Lean Six Sigma experts. So you can make use of these forms or the tools directly. Just double click them, and then it will be opened up for you. If you do not like these tools to be in this phase, you want to remove it, just right click on any of them, click delete, and then yes, and then it will be gone. Okay, but if you want to add it in any other tools or form later on, you can just right click on the phase, insert tool, and then you will see a list of options like process map, VSM, forms, analysis capture tools, fishbone, Monte Carlo simulation, and so on. So you can also edit the name of your phase. Okay, just right click, rename, and then you can just put it as just define. Just delete the back, enter, and then define is there for you. Okay, so you can do the same for the other phases name as well. You can rename it. Okay, so other than that, on the project manager sections, okay, on the top here, as you will see, the management, under management section, project today, project charter, financial data, team members, tasks, and so on. These two appeared because I have activated workflow earlier, and you can choose to remove it from your project manager section. So first of all, I would like to show you how data sharing is one of the useful feature in Companion. So let's say currently your project name is put as DMAIC project by default, and you just want to rename it to something else, like say project A, Okay, so you will notice that any field which consists of project name will be updated automatically. Once you update at one place, it will be updated everywhere. So I have updated project name as project A in the project today form. So once I hit enter, you will notice that the existing DMAIC project name that appeared anywhere else in the project will be automatically changed to project A as well. Okay, you will notice that the first thing is this DMAIC project name on the top left. So once I hit enter, it will be updated as project A. So the same for project charter, it will be updated as well. So anywhere that consists of project name will be automatically updated as project A. So the same thing applied for let's say team members name and so on. Any fields that consist of similar field name will be automatically updated. So let's say for team members, at the moment the team members fields at the bottom, they are still blank. Okay, let's say I would like to add in project leader myself. So it will identify that this name has already existed earlier, whether you have added this person before or it is a new field. Let's say I pick the existing one. Okay, let's say I pick Lily. Lily, it can identify that Lily is a new contact name. Okay, so if you click on new, it will be automatically added in for you at the bottom of the list of team members. So the name that I entered earlier for project leader will also be automatically added for you. So let's say John is the project champion, okay, and so on. So and then later on you can also add in the email address of this person. You can also choose her role if you want to change it. Let's say I change it to process owner. You will notice that Lily will be moved to process owner. It will no longer appear under the mentor, what was the role? Mentor or coach. So let me see, project owner, process owner. So mentor or coach will be deleted. And then you can also add in the department by your own, job title, business phone, and so on. You can also sort according to the columns. Currently, let's say I want to sort according to name, sort ascending or descending. Let's say I choose ascending, so John will be on top of the list and so on. So these are the all basic and quite straightforward features in companion forms layout. Okay, and then in tasks, let me see. Just double click. So you can also generate the list of tasks. Let's say I will create one, add in just one task, a quick one. Let's say data collection. Then I choose the status, the start date and end date, due date, and so on. Completion date, how many percent complete, and so on. And then when I add in any new task, it will be added as the Gantt chart automatically. So you can choose to show or hide this Gantt chart. Okay, by default it is hidden. So if you click on All Tasks Gantt chart, it will be automatically created for you. Okay, so later on when you add in additional tasks at the bottom of the list, on top of the list, you can the Gantt chart will be automatically updated for you as well. So this will also save you a lot of time in terms of updating the Gantt chart manually. Okay, so next, other than that, let's move on to, let me see, we have created a project. Okay, let's look at forms. Alright, forms. Actually, the task team members, financial data, project charter, and so on. They all appear as form formats. But just a quick one. Let me show you project charter. Probably the best way to show you the forms. But before we look at project charter, just for your information, you can choose to insert the forms by right-click on any face, insert tool, form. Then you will see a list of forms which is predefined for you. Then there are a list of around 30 to 40 forms. The standard forms, C&E matrix, FMEA, Gantt chart, project risk assessment, and so on. All the basic forms are all predefined for you. But if you would like to create one on your own from scratch, there is a blank form for you to customize. If you select blank form and then click create, then a blank form will be created for you. And then you will have to add in all the control fields, data fields, and all these fields on your own, whether it's the table, checkbox, drop down, and so on. Okay. Another way to add in forms or any tools, you can just go to the top ribbon, the third one, insert. There are also a list of the tools for you to add. It is similar to the one that you did earlier, where you right-click from the face name. So if you click on Insert Form, you will see a same window for you to choose the form. Okay, so let's say I am going back to Project Charter. Project Charter is one of the forms. So let's say you do not like how the current Project Charter looks like. You want to add in additional information or fields to capture the information. So you can just, by default, Project Charter, it appears under Project Manager. You won't be able to modify it directly unless you have a full version. That means you have a license of desktop app with the web app, and then you can edit in the Design Center on the web app. But other forms other than Project Charter or those appear under Project Manager, you can change it. Let's say a blank form. I do not like a blank form. Show you something else. Let's see. What are we going to look at next? Process C&E matrix probably. Okay, let me see C&E matrix. Okay, since we are going to cover C&E matrix later on, so just pick C&E matrix. Okay, so this is how the C&E matrix looks like. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so project name, prepared by, prepared date, and so on. And then there is a chart at the bottom for you. And then there is an instruction that provides you the guideline. What is C&E matrix for the purpose? What are the steps that you can perform to complete the C&E matrix? So all of these are very useful instructions and guidelines for your team members, okay, so that they know where they are and what they should do with this C&E matrix. Okay, let's hide it back. So I would like to show you how you can edit the forms. By default, when you open up any forms, it will appear as fill out mode. Okay, as if you can see over here on the top left, okay, on the ribbons. Fill out mode means that you can directly fill in the information or the fields on your form. So I can directly type in, I say, myself. So it will automatically detect the team member name that we have added earlier. So if I want to add in another field to capture like department, let's say a very simple one. I want to add in department, and then I have a list of drop down. Just click on drop down for selection, and then I just select the data type, for this case text. It can also accept integer or decimal. So what is the name to display? the list of the departments. Let's say technical. Just hit enter once you have finished typing. Finance. Okay. Marketing, probably. Okay, just 3 of that as an example. Okay. All right. So I've added in the department. I can also bold it or change the format of the font and so on, or put it as underline, so on, or change the color. Sorry. Okay. Then I go back to fill out mode. So the department field has been added in with the list of the drop down. Okay, for the user selection. So you can set all the fields or add in the fields in your forms so that you can create a standard template for your organization use. Okay, and then for C&E matrix, okay, I believe if you're not familiar what is C&E matrix for, C&E matrix is actually used to quantitatively evaluate a set of inputs X against a set of outputs Y to determine their likely relationship. So we will develop, usually we will develop a list of inputs we want to evaluate, and then a list of outputs that are important to the project or activity. So just a quick way, let's say, I will show you the C&E matrix later because I want to show you how you can bring the data you added in process map into the C&E matrix. So we will move on to process map first, okay? Then we'll go back to C&E matrix. So the same thing, if you want to insert a process map, go to the ribbon on top or right-click the face, insert tool, right-click, insert tool, process map. And then by default, there are 2 options for you to pick. Either a blank process map where you have to add in the shapes on your own, or a cross-functional process map. Okay, I will show you a cross-functional one just to show you, but we will create a process map from scratch. Okay, so this is how the cross-functional process map looks like in Companion. So it comes with the phases and departments on the row and columns. So you can add in the shapes one by one. Okay, but I would like to show you how you can create the process map from scratch easily. So let's say I add in a blank process map. Okay, so give me 3 minutes in order to create this process map. You will see how easily you can create a process map in Companion instead of using Excel or Microsoft Visual. Later on, you can also align these shapes according to the vertical or horizontal alignment. So let's just create one. So you just click on the shapes on top and then click at the workspace in the middle area. Let's say this is a start shape, and then the process take order, and then can we make pizza? Can we make pizza? And then another process shape, cook pizza. And the last one, deliver to customer. Delivery. Okay, and then I would like to add in the connectors. So the red dot will show you the center line, and since I have a few connectors to add at one go, I can choose multi-insert mode. Just click on it, and then you just have to select the shape one time without the need to go back and select it again. So, okay, sorry. The green dots will show the center line. When you move the cursor to the shapes, the green dot will appear, which will show you the center line. Oh, it keeps going on, keeps going up. Okay, and then the same thing for the bottom. And then the other shapes I want to add in is the straight arrow and the arrow. The same one for the bottom. Okay, and then I rename and then I deactivate the multi-insert mode. Double click on the arrow to label it. No. Yes. And then, so I want to align my process map. Currently, it doesn't look so great because it is distorted everywhere. So that is the reason why I created it this. That is the reason why I created it this way, because I wanted to show you how you can quickly and easily align it. So just select the sections of the shapes you want to align or you want to space. Okay, let me just choose the whole thing here on top. And then there is a line. So for this case, align middle. So all of the shapes will be automatically aligned to the middle, horizontally. So the same thing I want to do for the bottom. Align middle. Okay, so that's it. So let's say if I want to align these two shapes at the back on the right, align center. So delivery shapes will go directly below the making can we make pizza decision shape. So the same thing for these two, align center. Okay. So other than that, you can also change the formatting of the shape. You can change the color, the fill color. You can change the line color and so on. Okay. So these are the standard formatting that you can make use of. So now I would like to add in variables to the shape. So for, let's say for example, right click the take order shape and then choose shape data. And then I choose add variables. Okay. So then this task manager on your right will be displayed. So task manager is somewhere you can change the setting of the data or the shapes. Okay, so I would like to add in a few X input variables. Let's say menu. Click new, menu. Okay, and then menu will be added in. And then the output will be weight stuff. So this is an example of a project to reduce pizza defects. Okay, this is one of the example used. And then order slip, which is also the output for this shape. And then in cook pizza, we have ingredients as the input. Okay, ingredients. And then oven number 1, oven 1 is also the input, and the output will be pizza itself. Okay. So we have done with the process map. So if you have any process and lean data that you would like to add, you can do so as well. Okay. So I will not go into detail on this part. Okay. Another thing I'd like to show you is there is also an option for you to hide or show this data display. So currently, by default, the data and the label will be automatically shown to you in your diagram. So if you want to change the setting, let's say, just click on the shapes if you want to change for that shape itself. And then click on data display. You can choose to hide the shape data, the whole thing. Or you can choose to hide the label only. That means you are showing the data and so on. Okay. And then another thing I would like to share would be select and arrange strip data. Let's say I will select for this shape only to show you the difference. I click on select and arrange strip data for take order shape. So this is where you can change the layout of where or how your shape data will appear. So currently the X and Y variables are appearing on top and bottom respectively. If you have any other fields you would like to display in your process map, you can just pull it and then show it on your diagram. Let's say what else? Let me see what else I would like to add in. Okay, let's say data type, probably. Put it here. And then X, I would like to move it to the left, Y to the right. Let's put it at the bottom. All right. Okay, just put it this way. So X will go to the right. X will go to the left as you can see according to your preference. So if you do not want the data type to be there, just move up and then put the X and Y on left and right. Okay, so it will look different from the default setting. So you can play around and see which one do you prefer. Okay, and so that's it with the process map. So we have added in a few data in the process map or variables in the process map. Let's go back to the C&E matrix that we have created earlier, where I have added in the department field in the form. So I would like to show you how the data sharing is being promoted in Companion. So one of the way to show you is you can add in the X and Y variables that you have added in the process map earlier. So you can create new X variables. You can choose to add above or below the rows. Let's say you have any new variables you want to add in, or select from the existing X variables. So these are the existing input variables that you have added in the process map earlier. Okay, let's say ingredients, menu, oven 1, and so on. So let's say I check all. Okay, so it will be automatically populated for you under the X variables. So you can do the same for Y variables as well. Just point to the plus minus icon on the Y variable section, and then you can select existing Y variables. Let's say I choose pizza only. I can choose check all, but I choose pizza only, let's say. Okay. So with that, you can directly fill up your C&E matrix to determine what is the percentage of net effect by the inputs. Let's say I'll put in the information here. What is the value to determine the relationship? Okay, let's say I put 5. Then the percentage will be automatically calculated for you. 1. Okay. And then at the bottom, you will see the bar chart, which will be automatically calculated or populated for you. So this is another good thing of Companion, where you do not have to retype the data or the variables into different forms or tools. But you can directly insert or import these variables in different tools, and then the charts or the diagrams will be automatically populated for you or calculated for you. So all of this information are all formulas which have been preset for you. So you can change it in your form design, okay? And then what else? Under C&E matrix, I think that's all under C&E matrix. Then we will look at the brainstorming tool, which is the fishbone diagram. Okay, so insert, go to brainstorming tools. There are two options: fishbone, idea map, or CD3. Another way is right-click, insert tool on your face, and then let's say I click fishbone. So under fishbone itself, there are four options: 4S, 8P, fishbone, and man machine materials. So I select man machine materials. Create. So the man machine materials will be automatically populated for you. So all of the siblings, affinity, and childs are all predefined for you, but in a default naming or label. You can just double click on any of the fields to rename it. Reduce pizza defects, let's say, for this example. And then you can, while you are doing brainstorming, this brainstorm list on the right will be helping you a lot, because whenever you are doing brainstorming, there are a lot of ideas coming in from your team members and so on. So you can directly just type in whenever the ideas coming in from your team member. Okay, so let's say, for example, your team member is coming out with an idea like supplier, which will affect the pizza defect. Supplier A, or oven number 2, probably there is another oven. And what else? Let me see. Temperature, probably. Okay, and so on. So just type in the list of brainstorming list, and then once you have done with doing brainstorming, you can directly click on any of the idea, put it on the man, let's say, supplier, or should it be under the materials? Okay, materials. Oven number 2 will fall under machines. Temperature will be the measurements. So, and then if you have any other sibling or child to add in, just click on it and then insert affinity, sibling, or child. Let's say child, then it will directly be added for you. Okay, and on top of that, if you would like to directly import your existing X and Y variables that you have created earlier in the process map, just click on Import X variable. Let's say I check all. This one, okay, okay. Import Y variable and then check all as well. And then it will be automatically added under your brainstorm list. And then from there, you can directly pull each of the idea into your fishbone diagram. Let's say ingredients for under materials. Oven 1 will be machine. Wait staff, man, and so on. Okay. So this is another quick way of creating a fishbone diagram. So the same thing, you can change the formatting of your fishbone diagram. Let's say if you want to make it, change the text and so on, just right click, format, text, line, fields, they are all available for you. And then if you change your mind, you want to transform your existing fishbone diagram into a tree diagram, there is an option for you to do that directly, automatically. Just click on type, and then you will pick from a list of selections to idea map. with one click, it will be automatically transformed into ideal map or CD tree, or a right tree, or even a left tree as well. Okay, so this is a very easy and quick way of creating a fishbone diagram. You can also transform it into tree diagram. Okay, and then last but not least, I will also show you the value stream mapping, just a quick one, just to show you how the value stream mapping looks like in Companion. Okay, so let's say I would like to insert value stream map. So there are three options for you, whether to create from scratch a blank VSM, 4 process, 7 process, and so on. So let's say for our example, we will pick a 4 process VSM. So the 4 process VSM will be automatically populated for you. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, it looks like this. So all of the shapes, the basic shapes are all there already with 4 process. Okay, so you can directly fill in the data or the information. Let's say you click on the inventory shape, then you active the task manager. Okay, you just put in your inventory data, let's say 1000. Okay, and then 1000 will be automatically labeled for you at the bottom of that shape. And then let's say for the process shape, I have cycle time 5, value added cycle time 3, no value added cycle time 2, and so on, how many operators, and so on. So you can add in all this information or data to each of your shapes. And while you add in all this data, it will be calculated as peak and through at the bottom of your value stream map. So if you drag it to the end, there is a timeline summary at the back, which will show you what is the total value added cycle time, the cycle time, lead time, and so on. So this will be automatically calculated based on the formula which is predefined in Companion, so that you do not have to go through or do a manual calculation again later on. So whenever you update your value stream map, it will be automatically calculated for you. The changes will be updated for you. Okay, as you can see, it will be changed. Okay, so on top of that, there is a takt time calculated for you as well. If you want to know what is the pace that you need to maintain in order to meet customer requirements. So let's say the customer demand for how many pieces per month, what is the takt time? For example, the customer demand will be 5,000 to produce 5,000 in a month. You can also change the measurement unit here, whether 5,000 in a month or in a week or in a year. If you change it to year, the takt time will be updated for you. Okay, it will be different. So if it is in a month, it will be 1.92. So you can also change according to your shift, how many hours, how many shifts per day. Let's say 10 hours of shift per day. And then how many shifts per day that you have, let's say 3, and so on. So the takt time will be relatively lesser or more according to your settings. Okay, and then at the end of it, you can also change the setting of your takt time if you want it to appear as minute, second, hour, or day, and so on. Okay, so this is the value stream mapping. If you have any other fields that are currently captured here in the task pane, if you have any other fields that you want to add in, besides from this that we have predefined for you, you can add and arrange your data fields. Click on it. So there are a list of other data available for display by default. You can just choose, let's say, distance, click on it, and then click on the arrow to the right. That means it will be displayed in the task pane. Go to the right. Okay. So the distance will be added in for you. But if you have any other fields, this distance field which has been added um, under this task pane will only appear in this project file. If you have any global data fields that you would like to capture for use within your organization across all companion project files, you will need to create it in Design Center in the web app. Okay, so whatever you created here will only appear in this single project file. Okay, so at the end of the day, there is an export button. Let's say you would like to export this value stream map to PDF. You can choose to export it as well. Same for the fishbone diagram and so on. You can also insert related document. What is that? Okay, related document. So let's say if you have any other file which is not part of Minitab, which is not part of companion by Minitab project file. Let's say if you have a PDF file you would like to attach, just select it. You can choose to save a copy of the file in the project, or you can create an external link to the file. But if you create a link to external file and later on if you move that file, the link will appear as broken. So for this case, I will just save a copy of the file in the project. Okay, and then the file will be added in. So this is some particularly useful when you have any other files which you want to share in your project, which is an external file, okay, not part of the project file. Okay, so I will not go into analysis capture 2 today. I will show you a quick one about the web app. Okay, let's go to the web app section. Okay, so this is how the web app looks like. Probably I will show you the actual one later. So the web app, okay, probably you can see here directly. So the web app consists of the 4 tabs: dashboard, workflow, projects, design. So the dashboard is where it will draw the data from projects stored in the repository to provide a dynamic graphical summary of your program. So you can see financial summary, status reports, project impact, progress towards set targets, and more. So there are tailor-made reports where you can set it as public or private reports. You can custom create multiple column sets that summarize project data in useful way. So this is the column sets, which is the bottom. Okay, I think it looks a little bit too small. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so this is the dashboard view where each of these is called summary. Okay, where you summarize what you would like to see. And then at the bottom, this is called column sets. Column sets is this part. Create multiple column sets that you can summarize project data in useful ways, which means you can create multiple column sets according to your requirements. Let's say financial details. That means you can customize the columns or the data that you want to see from each of the project file, okay, without the need for you to click and open up the project. Okay, so you can customize the column, let's say the belt level, the project actual combined savings, and so on, so that you can, at a first glance, you can have a look of all the important project data that you want to know. Okay, and then on top of it, the summary. The easy way for you to create the summary is to make use of the existing reports or summaries created. Let me just quickly show you. It is very straightforward and very user-friendly, whereby all of the steps are provided for you already. So this is one of the summary that I created. Okay, for example, let's say I'll pick this one. I will edit from this one. So if you create one from scratch, it will also show you similar 6 steps with the guideline. Like first step, to select the variable that you want to summarize. So for this case, I selected number of projects completed. Okay, so because I want to summarize the number of projects which has been completed throughout a certain timeline. So you can also choose the list of other other data, okay, the variables, and then you click on next. You will go to time. That means you get to select the trend or snapshot. A trend summary will show the data over time, whereas the snapshot summary show data for a single time period. So for this case, this is an example of the snapshot. Okay, if you click on trend, it will show you a list of the timeline. Okay, from when to when. So snapshot, you will select the type, the interval of the time. And then next, go to step 3, where you can select the variables to group the result. This is optional. If you have any variables you want to group the result by, let's say by location, business units, and so on, you can select it from the list of the field. Okay, so I will skip. And then next, step 4 will be subset. You can define a subset of project to include in the summary. So this is also optional. If you have any certain criteria you want to subset the summary, you can add in the criteria. And then this is optional. I will skip. Step number 5 will be the target. You can define the target for the summary as well. So let's say for this case, higher is better. So I will put, let's say, 5 to 7.5. The threshold will appear as green and so on, whereas those below 2.5 will appear as red. Okay, so then click next. The last step, number 6, will be customization of your summary, whether you want it as both table and graph, or just a table, or just a graph. If I want to have both, then both will be displayed. And then you can choose the summary arrangement, whether the table on top, the table at the bottom, and so on. Okay? And you can also change the table setting, graph setting, and so on. All right? And then done. Okay? So that is how you can create summary report in your dashboard. This is particularly useful for the management or the project team leader or the management, especially stakeholders. They would like to have a look on your project summary, current status of your projects, and so on. Okay. And then the second tab is the workflow, which will provide you another options to do phase gate reviews. Okay, so there are 4 stages: ideas, hopper, active, and completed. First of all, you need to create a new idea and get approval from the committee. And then once your ideas has been approved, it will move to hopper stage, where you can choose the methodology, who are the committee, okay, the steering committee, and so on, to approve every phase of your project. Okay, so these are all requires approval, so you will need to configure it carefully in the beginning to define the project steering committee and so on. Okay, and then the third tab is the projects tab. This is the project repository, where it will list all of the projects that are currently in your companion subscriptions. Okay, so you can go through the list of the projects currently in your subscription, and then you can also view according to the filter, project that I own, or project that are shared with me, and so on. Okay, so you can also click on any of the project, whether you want to include or exclude it from dashboard, you want to delete, you want to share it with your team member or other team, and so on. Okay, last but not least, the design center. Okay, this require a few seconds or minutes of loading time depending on your internet connectivity. So Design Center, okay, I will just click on it. It is a sandbox to make changes of the data fields or your templates. I will just click on it. Let's see how long it will take to load. And then I will go to the PowerPoint. I'll briefly go through what is Design Center. Okay, where is it? Okay. Design Center, okay, Design Center or the sandbox. Sandbox is actually an isolated environment for you to do changes or testing of your project data or templates. Okay, it is called a sandbox, an isolated environment. So if you want to make any changes or add to the standard project templates, forms, tools, or data definitions users create, you must go to the Design Center and create a sandbox. So the sandbox is an isolated environment where a data architect can experiment or test out the changes without affecting the live subscriptions. So usually you will need to assign a data architect who will have access to this sandbox or the design center to make changes or set the standard form templates or data fields. Okay, so whatever testing you make in the sandbox will not affect the live subscriptions which are currently running or accessed by the team members. Okay, so as you can see, if you want to add and arrange data fields, whatever which are not available for display here, you want to add a global field, you will need to go to the sandbox. Okay, alright, so once you click create a sandbox, this is what you will see. So this is home, where you can review the actions you have taken. You make the changes first, and then you get to review your changes. And last but not least, you can choose to publish or discard the changes that you have made. And then at the bottom of it, you will see the current change set. You can review the changes that you have made before you actually publish the changes. So there are a list of options like data fields, where you can add in a new data field. Let's say you have a new location you want to add in for selection under your drop down. So you can just check location. You know the data field name is called location. Okay, so currently there are 3: Chicago, Rio, and London. If you have any new data field, you can just click on plus and then add in. Okay, and then later on, this new location will be available to be selected in any forms or tools in future. Okay, so the same for templates. You can also change the default templates which are available for you, like the DMAIC phases, 8D template, CDOV, Kaizen, and so on. Okay, you can change it. Once you click on this one, it will open up the desktop app for you to change. So you can remove whatever phases or the tools that you do not want to be there. Okay, and then at the project manager section, the management, as you can see, the project charter is there. So if you have the web app or the full version where you can access to the web app and design center, you can remove project charter from project management section, and you can probably add it under the tool templates for selection. Okay, but currently by default, project charter will appear under management section. Okay, and then you can review the past change sets that you have made. And then there is also sandbox dashboard for you to test on the changes of the summary you create in dashboard. So you can make all the changes here first before you you can test the result, see what is the outcome before you actually make the changes on the dashboard earlier. Okay, and then sandbox workflow is where you can make the setting configurations to set methodology phases for your workflow. Okay, you can also set the steering committee, link the data, and so on. And then last one, sandbox projects are the list of the projects that you create just for testing. Okay, so if you have done all the changes, you go back to home. Before publish the changes, you can review what are the changes you have done before you publish it. Okay, so I have not made any changes. I say I discard the changes, discard it, then it will go out from the sandbox. Okay, so that's it for my part today regarding the desktop app and the web app. So a little bit about the user roles. So for Companion by Minitab, it works slightly different from Minitab statistical software in terms of user roles. We have data architects. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, data architects will be the one to manage data definitions, to design tool templates, or create public dashboard reports. And then we have license administrator. License administrator works similar to the license coordinator for Minitab statistical software, where he will set up the subscriptions, add user, manage software updates, and so on. So usually we will recommend license administrator to be someone from IT. Okay, and then third, administrators. Administrators will be something like a project leader or project owner who will have access to all projects and then who can open, edit, and release checkout. And then last but not least, the end user, where usually these are the team members who will create and execute project or private dashboard. So to conclude the overall about Companion by Minitab, what are the benefits? It is easy and very fast to deploy. The dashboard itself will eliminate the non-value added work of chasing down and summarizing project data, whereby you can update monthly status report without going through multiple phone calls, emails, or spreadsheets. Okay, because the dashboard will be automatically there for you. You just have to go through the 6 steps to configure the summary. And then thirdly, you can customize or standardize project methodologies and tools. You can also customize or standardize the reporting of KPI. It also provides the centralized project server, whereby you do not need to host another project server particularly for this project purpose. So because it will be hosted in a Microsoft Azure cloud systems, very secure and centralized project server. And then with that, you can also reduce or totally eliminate the IT dependency. Okay. And on the end user side, the Companion is one solution application which comes with interconnected tools, which will reduce waste of time to retype or re-enter the information, because the data or the information can be shared across within all the project files. So when you reduce data entry time, it will also reduce data entry error. Okay. It also serves as a single record of reference for all project information and documentation, whereby you do not need additional project tracking system as well to update the project information. So as a conclusion, Companion is the complete solution on the market for efficient, continuous improvement project execution, and also to summarize the project work. The desktop app itself comes with the roadmaps and tools. It will make you easier to stay focused on problem solving and easier to organize your work. The web app, on the other hand, will provide effortless reporting and visibility for your management and stakeholders. Okay, so I will look through your questions in the chat window later on. So if you have any intention to try Companion by Minitab, you can go to www.companionbyminitab.com or visits.com. There is a link for you to download the 30 days trial. You can email us any questions at minitab@visits.com. And then last but not least, feel free to follow our social media pages for recent technical tips, updates on our upcoming events, trainings, sharing of technical knowledge, resources, and so on. So we have a Facebook page named under Minitab Malaysia and Singapore, and also a LinkedIn page, Minitab Malaysia and Singapore. So you can directly scan on the QR code appear on the screen in order to follow our page. Just scan the code and then it will bring you directly to our Facebook and LinkedIn page individually. And then please follow by click on like our page. Okay? So let me just go through and see if there's any questions. I will stop sharing my screen. Hold on, let me just go back and stop sharing. Okay, is there any questions? No questions. If there is no question, then that's all for today. So if you have any question later on, feel free to email me at yanfen@visits.com or minitab@visits.com. Okay, so thanks a lot for your time today, and we apologize on any technical glitches that happened in between or before and after. And thanks a lot for attending the webinar today. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.